Let me tell you something. You don't date men without asking questions first.
Pretty mind, pretty grind. Yeah, I said what I said. Manifesting better things while we lay edges to bed.
Hey guys, welcome to the Pretty Mind channel where we talk beauty, mindset, and everything in between. If you enjoy real talk, you're in the right place. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're feeling generous. So today's topic is women in dating. Basically what women go through when dating and how it affects their trust in men. And stay till the end to hear my crazy dating story time.
Let me tell you something. You don't date men without asking questions first. You don't go on dates with men without checking the reputation first. You do not go to dinner with a man before you find out what the streets are saying about said man. And most importantly, at this point in your life, you really shouldn't date people that you don't have mutuals with. Let me tell you why. Once upon a time, I matched with this guy on a dating app. Very handsome guy. I was like, oh my God, so hot. But I have a rule. Ask questions. So when we matched, the first thing I did was look at his Instagram to see if we had mutuals. We had a mutual. My friend, Henry, a gay man, a fabulous, stunning doll. So I send his profile to Henry. I go, who is he? Henry goes, I don't know. I think we matched on. And I go, LOL, we matched on. And my friend goes, well, at least he has good taste. So if I didn't ask questions, I would not have known that this man was interested in me and Henry. I would not have known.
So that was the shortest day ever. I just walked out on my date because this guy just from the beginning gave me weird vibes. We finally sat down and he just seemed so off. And I told myself, I'm like, I know myself so well at this point. I just know what it is. So I confronted him. I said, am I the first trans woman that you've taken out? And he nodded. And then I was like, it's either you're on drugs or you're completely uncomfortable with who you are. He was like, oh, I'm on drugs. Ha ha ha. And I was like, no, don't lie to me. Tell me the truth. So he did. And he was like, yeah, I'm a little bit nervous because we're out together in public. And this is a nice place. And I'm like, dude, we don't have to do this. I told him, I was like, you need to learn how to behave and act around civilization for the next couple of minutes or I'm out of here. So then he was like, can you please just stay? And I stay. And I was like, okay, well, talk like a normal person. If you're taking some girl out, are you gonna act like this? So then he's just really awkward. And I just thought to myself, I have so much respect for myself to do this. So I finally confronted him. I said, hey, listen, I've been a woman for 10 years. I'm comfortable with who I am in my own skin. I look like this. Why am I with someone that's not comfortable with who they are or me? So I finally told him, I said, thank you. This has been very awkward for me. You're the one that asked me out, but if this is how you're gonna act, I understand why you're on Hinge. And I just told him, I was like, I really appreciate the drinks, but I'm out of here. I told him I work 12 hours already. I don't have to spend the next hour, being uncomfortable and anxious because of how you act. You're a grown man. We don't have to do this. So I told him, thank you. I one shot all my drink, my Paloma, and I walked out. So yeah, I'm doing this not just for myself, but for everyone who's trans, gay, whatever. If you're with a partner or potential partners that act like this, you don't have to stay. You don't have to stay at a place where you're not appreciated, celebrated, or respected. This is the decision that young me would not be able to do, but I'm doing it now because my energy was being drained and I had to remove myself from that situation. A man's own struggle with himself is not my business. So, yeah.
So I'm just coming out of a date and he's never gonna see me again. But he asked me a question that kind of made me go. He jokingly was like, oh, so who are these other guys that I'm in competition with? And And I had to be like, other guys, no, you're in competition with me. You're competing against me because, listen, I'm fucking great. I'm fun. I know how to do everything for myself. But what is going to make you special enough for me to want to share my life with? I think this man was like aghast because he was just like, I was being dead serious. You guys have to remember, you're fucking great. And I think the longer I'm single, which I think is like coming on it's coming up 3 years now. There's something else that like I love more than myself. I'm very sure of who I am as a person. Men are scared of independent women. Like, y'all should be. Like, if you are not coming in prepared and sure of yourself, then you're not game.
So she was just so materialistic and she required so much. So much so that he literally went to get a second job.
This is so good. Go watch that video because it's so good. I had to learn this lesson when I was in college. One of my male friends was planning a first date for this girl, and he enlisted me to help him with the plans. So as we were planning this date, I was giving him suggestions on things he could do, places he can go, and as we were planning, I started to recognize like how anxious he was and how excited he was and almost like stressed out that he was. And I was thinking like, dude, this is your first date. What the heck? So finally I said it to him. I was like, dude, this is your first date. Calm down. Like, why are you acting so anxious? And you know what he said? He said, I can just tell that she's the type of girl that I better come correct to or don't come at all. I was like, what? So y'all know who to play games with and who not to play games with? Oh. So I immediately thought to myself, Dana, are you that type of girl? Do I invoke that energy? And then I thought about the girl because I had seen her on campus, but I didn't know her personally. And I thought about her and I thought, he's right. I can tell that she's the type of girl that don't play games when it comes to guys. Like, she will walk out quicker than sit around with someone playing games in her face. And when I asked myself that question, that was the start of me doing my inner work and my femininity journey because, listen, I was not getting the results that I wanted during that time, and I knew that there was something that I needed to work on within me so that I can evoke that energy of, you better come correct or don't come at all. So with that being said, ladies, guys know what kind of energy you're evoking. They know who to play games with and who to be serious about, who to go all out for and who to not spare any expense on. They know who they can play games with. So it's time for you to start asking yourself that question. Are you the type of person that guys know to come correct to or don't come at all? What are you evoking for him? What kind of energy are you giving off? Don't let these guys play in your face because they will play in your face. They will wear you out. If you don't like the results that you're getting, it's time to do your inner work. It's time to get your worthiness up. It's time for you to decide that you're worth more and that you don't have to entertain the foolishness that you've been entertaining before. Hope this helps. Like and follow for more.
I just got home from a date and I am nothing short of livid. This was our second date. We go on our second date. It's like 10 p.m. because that's like once he got off work and I was like making myself available. We have a meal. We share a meal. I didn't even get my own meal. $41. Let's make that known. Then he's like, hey, do you want to go get a drink after? Okay, great. We go have a drink. We have a couple drinks. And the bartender's like, oh, same tab? He's like, yeah, sure. And I was like, okay, cool. Thank you. And I said, thanks for the meal and the beers. We walk outside. I'm expecting him to like kiss me. Right? He goes, oh, do you want to go back to my place? It's already 1:30 at this point. And that's just like not really my vibe. So I was like, no, it's getting late. Not tonight. Looks at me. Hold on, let me take my glasses off. He looks at me and goes, okay. And turns around and walks to his car. Okay. So I go to my car and I'm thinking, okay, so we're probably done. Like, he probably just wanted to like have sex with me, right? This man has the absolute audacity to call me on my way home and goes, so what was the point of me paying for your meal and drinks then? I said, oh, well, if you couldn't afford the $41 and the $21 at the bar, I could have paid for it. He's like, obviously I can afford it, Hannah. I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that this was a prostitution situation. I didn't realize that I had to fuck you after you paid for my meal. And he goes, that's not what I'm asking, but what was the point of me doing all that? I said, it was a second date. He's getting like hostile with me. And I was about to say, you probably should have just hired a prostitute. And then he hung up on me, and as I'm driving, he blocks me on my phone, blocks me on Bumble, blocks me on Instagram. I'm like, I'm so annoyed that that's even, if I don't want to sleep with you on the second date, I'm not going to. It's even like an okay thing for someone to like express that like, I paid for your meal, now you have to fuck me. That's insanity to me. Are you kidding? I'm gonna delete every single app. I can't do this anymore.
This is a PSA for all my girlies. The only thing you have to know is that if a man treats women like shit or like hates women or like constantly cheats, like I'm talking like every single girlfriend he's ever had, or like constantly has like a fucking roster that he just goes through, there's either two reasons for this. Number one, he's a really bad mother wound, deep core mother wound. He hates women because he hates his mom, okay? Even if he doesn't think he hates his mom, his inner child hates his mom, you know what I mean? Like, he's just a real bad relationship, and he just has decided to take that out on every single woman that exists. The other option, this one I have found way more true, is that he's gay as fuck. He's so gay, like super fucking gay. And there's nothing wrong with being gay to other people, but to them, the internalized homophobia, the internalized misogyny, it's all of that into one small-minded meat suit, you know? Because listen, if you act like you hate women, it's because you do. And a man who loves women, truly loves women, doesn't treat them like they hate them, you know? And all I have to say to that is, baby boy, just be gay. Just be happy, my love. There's lots of space for abundance here. I don't really get it. But anyways, for the women, yeah. I have literally told many of my female friends that these mans that have been treating them disrespectfully, some of them hella gay, and I've been right every time. Don't ask me how we found out, but we found out. And you know what? It's easier to get over a man when you know he's gay. It's not funny. I hope y'all find peace.
Y'all have pissed women off to the point where there is no room for mistake. You cannot ask where they work. You can't ask about their past. You can't be too attractive, because that's a red flag. You can't be too ugly, because that's a red flag. God forbid you're broke or you're in between jobs. If you don't text back fast enough, blocked. If you don't share your location, blocked. It's not looking good for us, boys.
The reason why I have a strong sexual appetite for my wife is because I don't go eat burgers and fries and shakes when I'm out. I eat when I get home. My eyes, I don't go feast on other women's bodies all day and then compare my wife's body that I've been with for 26 years to somebody's body that ain't even 26 years old.
I love that video. That guy's such a phenomenal creator. It is so true that if a man is like, oh, I'm not attracted to my wife anymore. What? Look at his search history. Look at what he's looking at on social media. It is not normal for a married man to go and look at all these naked women on a screen. Of course he's not going to be attracted to his wife anymore. He's meeting feeding his sexual appetite. He's feeding it with a bunch of other women. Sometimes I'll even hear a woman say, I don't care if my man looks but doesn't touch. One day he's gonna get bored of you because he has feasted his eyes on every other woman he had access to. Whenever a man says something like, I can't imagine being with one woman for the rest of my life. Yeah, it's because you've been feeding your lust. You're looking at naked woman after naked woman after naked woman on your social media, on your internet searches. In real life, you're staring at every other woman. And so then, yeah, by the time you look at your wife, you're like, it could be better. If looking at altered images affects women's self-esteem, if looking at women who have had a ton of work done affects women's self-esteem, you think men aren't impacted by looking at all these images, by having constant access to naked women? A good man will protect his eyes. He's not going to be out there staring at every other woman, fantasizing about every other woman. He knows that to protect his marriage, he will have self-control day in and day out, instead of being this like very lustful kind of guy. If a man tells me, oh, I'm just not attracted to my wife anymore, I already know what he's been looking at. I know that that kind of man who falls out of love with his wife because he's not attracted to her anymore has fed his lust over and over and over. And that kind of man will never be satisfied. He's
Alright, so how do I say this? That man was never planning on having a family with you. He got you pregnant to slow you down, number one. Number two, he wanted to make sure that nobody else can have you, meaning another man can't have you. Number three, he wanted lifetime access to you. And I feel like a lot of us as women, we do not understand that these men will do anything to prevent being lonely, to prevent being alone. That's why they project that onto us so much. You're going to die alone. You're going to die alone, because they're afraid of being alone. So yes, they will do weird shit like this in order for that to not happen.
It really just opened my eyes as to like how hurtful men are.
So I learned this lesson last year, and it's one I recommend everyone learn sooner rather than later. Just yesterday, a friend called me having a panic attack in her car because her boyfriend had called her an hour before and said that he loved her, all of these nice things, and that his family can't wait to meet her for Thanksgiving. An hour and a half later, and this is no exaggeration on the timeline, called her back and said that he is a high value man and that he can do better than her, but she will never be able to do better than him, and that it's over, and then hung up before she could even say anything. I've had friends where their date will leave in the middle of the date while they're in the bathroom. I've had friends whose boyfriends will break up with them on their birthday, on days of death, on graduation, boyfriends taking other girls on their birthday trip. And this is just the last year. This is just 2023. Personally, when this happened to me, I decided that I was going to take the next year to not date anybody, and it was the best decision that I could have ever made for myself. I accomplished every single goal that I had this year. Just bought a new car, about to move into a beautiful apartment, happiest I've ever been, more peace than I've ever felt. I'm surrounded by so many different types of love that I don't really feel like anything's missing. And that's not to say that I'll never date again. I'm literally sure that I will. But as a girl who has high standards and values, you cannot vet for a man blindsiding you. I consider myself like very like in the know, and it happened to me. Even looking back now, I'm like, I could have never predicted that. Be careful, invest in yourself. Just invest in yourself. The right person will come along, but be very picky. Do not let everybody just date you. It is not worth it. It is not worth your peace. It is not worth your time. Don't do it.
And also, if he pays for that date, say thank you. But if he goes, wow, you look gorgeous, you don't have to say thank you. Just say, oh, I feel so flattered. You feel. You only say thank you to a man when he does something for you, like move your sofa, pay for something, open your door, an action, or if he pays for something, okay?
Ladies, this is your friendly reminder to never, ever, ever idolize another woman's relationship or marriage. A lot of women who are in relationships with men post in order to gloat and in order to let the rest of us know that they have something that we do not have. But they won't tell you the truth behind the scenes. They won't tell you how they're being abused and mistreated at home. They won't tell you how their man has been a POS since day one. But what they will do is post the highlight reels to social media so that you feel like you are missing out on something. Never, ever, ever be jealous of another woman's relationship or marriage, because most of them are only posting a pretty facade that looks good. They will never tell you the real truth about what's happening in their relationship. And they damn sure won't come back and update you and let you know that everything was a lie. These women be suffering behind closed doors and getting tortured by their man. Meanwhile, you're at home feeling bad because you feel like you're missing out, because you feel like you just haven't found the one yet. Do not feel bad about being single, because most of the women who post on social media to show off their relationships are living a lie as soon as they put that phone down.
Did y'all see that video where the guy's asking his wife, is there a possibility that she would let him go to Colombia, Costa Rica, or Dominican Republic with his friends? And she's like, just go. I could care less. Now, mind you, those places are known for prostitution. 304. And she's like, just go. Haven't you noticed I don't care about what you do anymore? My good sir, you are single. She has left you up here. The minute a woman stops caring about how you breathe, how you walk, how you talk, your actions, the actions that she's probably been nagging at you to change.
I ended up going on a date with this guy I met during an event. And I actually went up to him because I thought I knew him, but he wasn't the person who I thought. And we just had like a brief conversation, and then we went about our day, whatever. Later on, he follows me on Instagram. He didn't ask me for my Instagram, by the way, so he went and looked for me, probably through one of the organizers of the event. So he messaged me. He was just basically saying, hey, whatever. And he was telling me, like, I'm leaving tomorrow. Do you want to see each other, etc., etc.? I told him, like, he said he was leaving back to the city the next day. He wanted to see each other, whatever. I told him, yes, I would love if you could plan something. That would really be nice, etc. And, like, he ended up sending me an address to a rooftop restaurant. And he was such a gentleman. Woo! Literally, he was so handsome too. Pulled out my chair, and it was a beautiful restaurant. He pulled out my chair, and we were talking. He was asking me questions. I was asking him questions. He was telling me he's single. And one thing I didn't like is he kept going on his phone from time to time, and that kind of pissed me off because I wasn't on my phone at all. But I just brushed it off. And later on, it started to get dark. We were still at the restaurant, and like we're just sitting. He was telling me, like, he likes the way I dress, the way I look, which is kind of fishy because, like, you can tell me I'm beautiful, but like specifically the way I dress, it means that, it means you've been looking at my body in certain ways, which you should not be, you know what I mean? Because we just met. But anyways, yeah, so later on, we were chilling. It was super late. He brought me home. Like, we're actually in a park near my house. And, like, he was asking me, like, hey, can I kiss you, etc., etc. And I don't know why I said yes. I should have just said no. But I haven't been on a date in a long time, and I really want to. I was like, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, let me just, I don't care. He's so handsome, and he's so polite, whatever. And he smells so good, and he was so tall. Anyways, so we were kissing, and he started to kiss down my neck, and it was just like, bro, what are you doing? Like, he wasn't just kissing it, he was literally damn near making out with my he was damn near making out with my freaking neck, bro. Oh my gosh, this guy was disgusting. So I was like, bro, what are you doing? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, so you just walking around just licking people's necks? Like, you just met me literally yesterday. Like, damn. So then, like, I was like, bro, relax. Like, what are you doing? And then, like, he was like, oh, can I come back? Can I come inside your house? And I mean, you know, I'm like, no, like, I literally just met you. Like, no. He's like, oh, well, if I had a hotel, would you want to come? Nah. I'm like, no. Oh my gosh. So then, like, that's that. And, like, he was just, like, persisting, whatever. So then I eventually went home, and then he eventually went back to his city, and, like, we were talking for a while. And what we FaceTimed a lot. I don't usually FaceTime people, but him and I were FaceTiming a lot. And like I said, I haven't been on a date in a long time, so it kind of felt good. You know what I mean? Talking to someone, or, you know, having someone telling you you're beautiful, or having someone texting you good morning. You know what I mean? That feels good. Ugh. But yeah, every time we were on FaceTime, like, you know when you're on FaceTime and you kind of like crouch down a little bit just to look at the person. Like, let's say you put your phone on the counter and you just like go down a little bit just so your boots kind of hang and sag. Bro, every time that would happen, this guy would just start giving me the weird perverted eyes, if you know what I'm talking about. And it would just make me feel super uncomfortable. And I would quickly like block my cleavage or close my cleavage so he would stop. And you know what I mean? Like, it just kept happening constantly. So then, like, I was just like, oh, whatever. I brushed that off. So then, like, he was telling me, hey, like, I really want to see you. I want to come back to your city, etc., etc. It's like an hour, 30 minutes away. Almost 2 hours away. I think it's 2 hours away, actually. Yeah, so I'm like, oh, okay, you know, just let me know. You know, I would love it if you plan something, you know what I mean? Because, you know, last time was literally last minute. So I told him I'd love it if you plan something this time, you know, something very meaningful. I don't even know why I had to tell him that. First of all, do not tell a nigga what to do. Like, fuck, do not tell them what to do. Get them. So then, like, yeah, so I told him that. Ow! Why you... Anyways, my kitten bit me. So I told him that, and, like, he was like, why don't you plan something? It's your city. Red flag number fucking 500. It's your city. No. I'm like, well, you know, you're the one who wants to see me. You want to take me out. Why don't you plan something? Like, you know, too. Like, and there's Google, there's ChatGPT, like, oh my gosh. But anyways, so that was weird. And like, it was basically like I was forcing him to plan something. And like, he eventually didn't end up coming. Like, the day of, he didn't text me at all. The day we were supposed to meet, he didn't text me at all. He didn't call me at all. It was just weird. I didn't text him either, first of all. You know what I mean? I know I said I haven't been talking to anyone and I'm low-key thirsty. I need some water. Anyways, I know I said this, but I'm not fucking stupid either, first of all. So you didn't message me and you invited me. Why am I gonna message you like, hey, it's not gonna, like, what the fuck? Hey, you still gonna come? Like, no. So, I didn't message him. No. So, like, I think, I don't know if it was, like, later on that night, the day he was supposed to come, or later on at night. I don't know if it was later on at night, the day he was supposed to come, or if it was the next day. But he called me. He was like, hey, like, why didn't you call me? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, I don't know, like, I thought you would call me and, you know, ask me if things are still gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, ask him if he's still gonna come. So I'm like, well, I thought you were busy. You know what I mean? You didn't text me. And you knew you were supposed to come. So me, I'm thinking either he's on the way or he's just busy. You know, that's what I told him. Well, honestly, I wasn't even thinking that. I knew he was ignoring me. But I told him that. So then he was like, oh, okay. So he basically wanted me to run after his ass, text him, call him, just to be all like, wait, are you still coming? Why? You told me you were going to come today. Why didn't you come? Like, no, nigga, what the fuck? Oh, I'm a baddie, first of all. Anyways. But, like, yeah. So then, like, he said that, and that was really weird. He ended up coming, by the way. He ended up coming. So then, like, I was really excited. Like I said, I'm thirsty as fuck, but not that thirsty. I was looking excited. I'm like, okay, you finna come. Okay, come true, whatever. So then, like, he came. And it was a bit late when he arrived. And he didn't plan anything, by the way. He didn't end up planning nothing at all. So we were in the car. First of all, he literally made me walk 10 minutes. Or maybe, I think it was 10 minutes. To a car, like a community car. Fucking community car. First of all, the place... The restaurant he brought me to was so nice. Yeah, I'm thinking like, well, there's nothing wrong with a community car, first of all. Like, everybody uses it. It's an app where, like, you look for the nearest car if you need to get somewhere, etc. You just verify your ID on that. What am I doing? Promoting this ish. Anyways, yeah, we walked to the freaking community car. And, like, it took so long. I was literally pissed. And he didn't end up planning anything. First of all, when we're in a community car, this guy basically asked me, hey, like, because remember, he wanted to go home with me that night, and I didn't want to, whatever. In the community car, he basically asked me, when we're in the community car, he basically asked me, hey, like, are we, you know, if we, because I told him, like, I don't know what happened. Damn, I skipped that part. Anyways, something happened, and I told him, like, bro, I don't know you. I'm not having smash with you if I don't know you, first of all. Like, we have to be in a committed relationship. Now, I brought it up a notch. You know what I mean? I have to be married with you if you want to have smash, you know? So I told, at that time, it was committed relationship, but I didn't end up getting into any relationship after him. Well, we weren't in a relationship, but I didn't end up talking to anyone else after him either way from me. You know what I mean? But anyways, so, yeah. So when we were in the community, well, I told him, like, you have to be committed. I have to be committed. We have to be in a committed relationship, etc. So when we're in the community car, he proceeded to tell me, so, like, in a few months, let's say 3 months, and... you know, in 3 months, if we start dating, are we gonna start having schmecks? Are you finally gonna? And my daughter told him, I'm like, yeah. And then, like, I was like, wait, what? Did he just ask me that question? What the fuck? Oh my gosh, I didn't leave. I still wanted to go on that damn date because, like, bro, you told me you're gonna plan something. I want to see what's going on, you know? So then, like, we ended up going to downtown. Guy didn't even plan anything. We literally went to the nearest restaurant. It was an expensive restaurant too. It was disgusting. But it was expensive. Well, not that expensive, but it was like, it wasn't a cheap restaurant. You know when you walk into a restaurant and you see, like, wine glasses on a table with water and the light. That's the vibe it was giving. You know what I mean? And yeah, so we ended up going there. The food wasn't even that good, but, like, I'm glad I still made him buy me food because I was really hungry. And, like, the waiter was so handsome. I honestly didn't do it on purpose, but when the waiter was talking, I was literally basically just looking at him straight in the eyes. I was like, oh my, yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. Can you, what is this on the menu? Oh, my. And, like, I was like, oh, smiling at him. And this nigga was just looking at me like, Like, bruh, is this really happening? Yes, nigga, this is happening. Like, you know what I mean? And one thing I want to say is, oh my gosh, you see, I felt so insecure with him because he had wandering eyes. Oh my gosh, I forgot to say this. This guy had wandering eyes. I remember, well, that same night we ended up going to the bar, and that confirmed everything for me because every girl that walked by this nigga was looking, staring. I'm like, bro, why are you looking at everyone? Like, I just felt so nervous, so unease around him, you know? So then, like, when we were one thing that I realized is that when we were in a restaurant, I quickly sat on the seat that was facing towards where everybody was walking, you know what I mean? Like all the waiters. And I made him sit on the seat that was facing the wall where like there was basically another table there, but there was no one there. And the fact that I went out of my way to do that just tells you everything about this guy. Like, I felt so nervous letting him sit, and I was too nervous to let him sit in my seat because I kept thinking like, damn, like we're gonna talk the whole time and his eyes are just gonna keep going up just to every girl he sees walking by. Like every time he sees someone, his eyes are just gonna keep going up every freaking second. Like, no. So that happened. So then like wait, what happened? So yeah, after he asked me the 3 months question, like if we date after 3 months, will you let me? No, we're gonna end up no. I told him yes, etc. And I thought about the question. I was like, bro, that's a weird question. And then like we ended up going on the so-called date. Oh my gosh, we went for a walk right near the water. There was like a lake near there. We went for a walk. Oh my gosh, this guy was sexualizing me so much. I was basically wearing like boot heels, and the way you walk with these boots, like it's really, especially if you're like a skinny person, you know, when you walk and your waist goes like side to side from left to right, left, right. You know when your waist does like basically Shakira without you even trying. My waist was giving that because I was looking good, first of all. And this guy basically was like, oh my gosh, I love the way you're walking. Like he was imitating like the sound of my boots, like like ta ta ta. Like, I love this. And he basically grabbed my waist when I was walking, and he was like, oh my gosh, like he was so like, sexualizing me so much. It was just like pissing me off. So then I was like, nah, bro, like this is weird. Like this is what I mean by if you feel something dip. Like if you feel weird, if you got a slight headache, a slight thought, dip, bro. Anyways, that happened. And like later on at night in the car, he honestly kept trying. Oh my gosh, so much things happen later on at night. Well, actually, no, I forgot one thing from the first date. From the first date, he basically got a call, and he went outside. He stepped outside of the car to talk to the person. No, it was on the first date. No, it was on the second date. He basically got a call in his phone, and it was a girl. I saw it. He stepped outside, and I don't know, I guess the girl was, because he wasn't answering. Oh my gosh, the girl was calling him. She called him twice, first of all, and he's telling me that's his friend. I'm like, first of all, your friend, why is she calling you 2 times? Like, you know what I mean? If I'm calling my friend, I ring once. Okay, she's busy. She's going to call me back. But why is she calling you more than once? You know what I mean? That's weird. So then, like, she basically kept calling. So he finally answered. When he answered, he stepped out of the car. He was like, oh, what? I'm not doing anything. I'm busy. I was like, whoa. Oh, my gosh. I wish. You know when you have, like, I wish I should have. You know what I mean? I literally wish I would have been like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, come back to the car. Yo, I wish. Oh my gosh. I wish I would have done that. But like, yeah, that was weird. And like, yeah, so later on after after he dropped me home from the restaurant, we basically sat in the car for a bit. And he was still asking me if he can come to my house. I told him no, I don't know you, etc. And he's like, well, if I had a hotel, would you come, etc., etc. And I told him maybe, just to see what he would do. This guy proceeds to go on Google, search up hotel, and there was no hotel. It was basically like almost practically 3 a.m., bro, almost 5 a.m. Basically went through Google, went through every single hotel in the freaking city. He couldn't find not one room except at a motel, Dutzy ass motel. You know those motels with the flower duvet covers, like the old flower wallpapers from like 1970, and that probably smells like freaking cigarettes. Probably has like a dirty pee stain carpet. That's where this thing wanted to bring me, bro. I was like, ah! You want me in that? He's like, oh, well, we could stay in the car if you want. You know what I mean? He made a joke. He's like, well, you know, you want the community car? The community car is nice. Basically, he literally proceeds to recline his chair back. I was like, nope. Bring me home. Bring me the fuck home. Oh my gosh. I literally have a headache talking about this. Anyways, it was so funny. It was crazy. There was so much. I don't want to go too much into detail. I basically said a lot already, but there was so much more. This nigga had a sweet mouth. A sweet mouth.